again, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Origi, mate, is the man for me. I think he's massively underrated. I think like he's with Liverpool, and them front three are a good front three, or very, very good front three. And I think he just don't get the appreciation really. I think he's got pace, got bad in the air, and I think he can score. I think he's a better finisher than Antonio, if I'm honest.
His finishing's improved, though, isn't it, though, mate? That finish on Sunday, that was a great goal. That was a great goal.
Yeah, but he's still at the post again, though, Luke. Do you know what I mean? The post hitter is back.
Let's start with a Newcastle game, mate, like I did with Andy. What did you make of that, mate? What a great performance that was.
Yeah, it was a good performance, don't get me wrong, but the first half was all over the place. Like,
defensively, the first half we were shaky.
Right, absolutely. Like, was slow, static, and Dawson was terrible, mate. Right, and even Obama weren't no better. Right, I don't think Obama was fit either. But second half we come out and we got that goal earlier. Benrahma got that goal, and then we just kicked into gear. Bit lucky with the pen, I've got to admit. If that was given against us, I think we would all be going berserk. That we've been given that against us. And then the fourth goal, great ball from Benrahma, slide the play down into Antonio, and a striker's finish, mate. And I must admit, it was a good performance in the second half, but the first half was, it was like if you do that against Leicester on Monday, mate, then we might not get it back. So we've got to improve on that.
Yeah, we couldn't deal with that St. Maxim's pace, could we, at all, in the first half? He's a good player. I'd love him at West Ham. I would absolutely love him at West Ham.
He tore us to shreds in the first half, mate. Like, literally, anytime he got the ball, they was trying to double up on him, even treble up on him sometimes, and just couldn't get near him.
Mate. If you get too close, he'll turn you. If you back off him, he'll just do you anyway for pace.
Yeah. But I must admit, for the first game of the season, away at Newcastle, a place that we don't really win ever. It's a great win, great 3 points, I must admit.
Definitely. Yeah. So going into this Leicester game, mate, let's start with who do you like? Who do you like for Leicester, mate? What players do you like?
Obviously, you got to go with you got Vardy in there, you got Sinanchu in there. Who's that? Ndidi, I think he's a good player.
Good
player. Very, very, very good player. Obviously, Maddison's in there and all.
They've got some good players as well.
Yeah, they've got some good players, Leicester. And Leicester's a sort of model that West Ham should be following. Like with buying low, selling high, and progressing each year. Like 6 years ago, before they won the Premier League, they were fighting relegation. Yeah. And since then, they've won the Premier League, won the FA Cup, got in the Europa League, got in the Champions League. And that's how we should be. Like, we should be progressing each year. So, I think Leicester is a great model, but they've got great owners, mate. And when you look at their owners, they care about their club and they care about their community and all, and everything that what our owners don't do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know the first game of the season, I don't know if you see it, mate, they give away a free beer or a free soft drink for all the fans. Like that, just little things like that means so much, doesn't it, to the fans?
Yeah, they give away a free scarf, I think it was also, and a free pint. Yeah, it's what it means to because what it is without the fans, the football club's nothing, isn't it? Let's be honest. West Ham without fans, as we see last year, is nothing. It's just it's just 11 lads having a kick about in Stratford. Do you know what I mean? So
that's it,
So you've got to be realistic on it, and I just think with Leicester, I think the way they conduct their business. Like, we wanted Daka for ages. They would go out, pay £23 million for him and get him. And
that's it. It just went bosh. That's it.
Done, yeah.
Would you make any changes? Because some people are saying, would you bring Diop in for Dawson?
Yeah.
So you would, yeah?
100%, mate.
Any other changes?
I thought Dawson was very slow, Luke, if I'm honest. And the first goal, I think he lets the Wilson just run off him. Like, he's standing right in front of him, just lets him run off him. And then the second goal, the header, he actually moves out the way of it. I think he's going wide. He goes in the corner. I'd get Dawson out of there. I think you need pace at the back. And I can't understand why Diop didn't play the other day. I really can't. He played all pre-season. He played all right in pre-season. Yeah. And he gets dropped. So, I'll definitely play Diop, and I'd keep the team as it is. Like Antonio, Benrahma, Fornells, Bowen, Souček, Rice, back four of Cresswell, Cathal, or Bonner, and then have Diop in there, and then obviously Fab. I would like to see Areola play, but it's a hit and miss one with everyone, isn't it? It's either what do you do? Like, do you bring Areola in? Like,
I think he'll come in at Europa League or Carling Cup, the first game of the Carling Cup, and if he does a bit of a worldie, I think he'll be goalkeeper soon.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree.
So what do you think the score is going to be? I think it's going to be high scoring again. You were close with the... was it you that said 3-2? Or was that my mate? I can't remember. Someone said 3-2.
Yeah. I said it'd be okay. I said 2-2 in the game against Newcastle. I knew it'd be high scoring because, like, obviously, like every time we play them, there's always high scoring game. This is a tough one, mate. I reckon. The problem is, Luke, and I will say this before I give you a prediction, is whether we've had no signings this week, and it looks like we ain't signing no one. If we go a goal down against Leicester, the fans could turn massively on the board, massively.
Yeah, I said that as well. I said that.
Yeah, and the problem is, it's not people saying, oh, because we're losing, I think. It's because we know we need, like, spend on us, like we need investment, and they're sitting there doing nothing. So, this is a game where I think we can win it. I think this will be high scoring again. We need to score first in this one, though. So I think if we do a Newcastle again, we won't come back because they're a well-organised team at Leicester. But I'm going to say 2-1 to us, and that's me being my West Ham hat on. Do you know what I mean?
It'd be a great result, mate, if we can.
I think Benrahma will perform in this game. It's his first game in front of the fans. So it'll be interesting to see how all the fans see with him playing in front of everyone. And home crowd, Monday night. It's a big game, mate, because honestly, I think if we can win this one, then we've got Palace next.
We're flying, then.
Yeah, I mean, title contenders.
Well, anyone's better than Arsenal at the minute, mate. It could be worse. It could be Arsenal at the minute.
That is true, mate. That is very, very true indeed. You know what I mean?
So the draw for the Europa League's next week, mate, next Friday. Who do you want, mate? Who would you like to see come out of that hat for us?
Anywhere local, really, if I'm honest. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I don't want us to be travelling to like Kazakhstan or Russia and all that sort of places. Wouldn't mind someone in Scotland, like if there's a Scottish team come out.
What about Marseille with Payet?
Oh, it has to be, isn't it, mate? If that is, that'd be a game of art.
The atmosphere would be amazing. The atmosphere would be incredible for that one.
But yeah, anywhere local, really, mate. I think, like, in regards to like even a team in Belgium, maybe, like Belgium team, a Dutch team or something. You know what I mean? So, because the reason being why I say that is I just don't want it to affect our Premier League form. If I'm honest, I don't want us to be going to these places like Ukraine or somewhere, and you've got to travel back on the Friday or late Thursday night, early Friday morning, and then, you know, it affects us on
it's a long old journey.
Yeah.
I do want Lazio as well. I would love to have Lazio as well.
We'll probably get the route of death or something. Lazio, Marseille, and some other team.
Last question for you, mate. Obviously, we sort of knew about Antonio getting the Jamaica call up. And I don't know whether you seen my video yesterday. He will play potentially 8 games between now and Christmas for Jamaica. Again, you're talking about travelling, mate. He's going all the way over to bloody Caribbean to play football. Even more so, need a striker now. Even more so.
I just think it's it's not an if, it's a when he gets injured. In my opinion, there. Like, that's going to happen, Luke, at some stage. It's just whether or not how long we get him for. People say it's about Antonio with the Jamaica thing. He's been with us a long time. He hasn't even considered it, like, going international, and now he does at 31. And I'm not knocking him. But we need, like, it's not his fault that we've only got one striker at the club. So it all goes back to the owners again, doesn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, if it is what it is, mate, at the end of the day, because there's players there that we need strengthening. And like, I can't stress enough. It's like, was it the 19th of August now? We're sitting the 19th of August.
Mate, 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now.
And I honestly do believe, Luke, that I don't think we sign anyone for cash. I've always said that. Right?
Loans,
yeah, it's going to be a loan or free transfer.
I did read that Lingard might get offered a 1-year contract and we take him on loan.
Yeah. And honestly, it would not surprise me in the slightest, mate, because going off the subject of Antonio, because obviously it does affect Antonio because he's the only striker at the club. But if we don't bring anyone in at the end of this window, mate, there's drastically questions got to be asked of why.
Massive, mate, and on Moyes as well. Not even just on Sullivan.
Yeah.
I like what Moyes is doing with the team and stuff like that. But Moyes needs to grow some bollocks and say, look, come on, I need these players. Go and sign them. If he really likes a player, he's got to go in there and say, look, do it. You're done.
See, people turned around and said about Milenkovic, like Moyes pulled the plug on it and all that. Honestly, I don't believe so, in my opinion, because why would you wait 2.5, nearly 3 weeks and then decide to pull the plug at the last minute? It just doesn't make no sense. The only reason, and I spoke to someone last night, funny enough, and they turned around and they said to me, the reason why he could have pulled the plug is he's got a budget, and the budget would have been shortened if they would have brought him in.
Because the agent fees.
Yeah, because the agent fees and all that. And he's working on a tight budget. But, you know what I mean? When you're looking at teams like Palace going out and paying £20 million for a defender, and we can't even attract one player to our club. It's very...
we've got Europa League football as well. Do you know what I mean? We've got Europa League football this year. We're quite an attractive side this year. Do you know what I
mean? And that's what I believe, though, Luke. But the problem is with that, is if we can't attract anyone in the Europa League, when can we attract players to our club?
Exactly.
I think with Oko Flex playing the other day, I thought he done really, really well.
Looks good. Yeah, he looks fine.
But then we've got a lot of youngsters that people keep raving about. I think his hand's gonna have to be forced eventually. I think his hand will be forced to play these, or get these players in. If someone gets injured, Baptiste in there or something. Do you know what I mean? And go. You know what? But it shouldn't have to be like that, though, Luke. As West Ham fans,
as a youngster, you should be eased in. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day, you know, I always used to say it when I used to go West Ham. That March time, that's when you get like Jermaine Defoe's getting put in there, Joe Cole's getting put in the team, and just gradually, when we're safe, he starts playing them. That's what you want to see.
And that's what it should be. That's the right logic. Like, you wouldn't have like Baptiste in there against someone like Lukaku. You got a world class. You know what I mean? You got a world class striker up against a novice, really, in his trade. So it's just one of them, really, at the minute. Honestly, if you said to me about the window right now, I think it's going to be loans and free transfers, and because I'll be stunned if there's any money.
Unless they pull something serious out the bag on that last day. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I just think to myself, the only glimmer of hope that I've got is that last season, Benrahma was late, Dawson was late, Cathal was late. They was all late signings, right? That's the only hope I've got. But if they don't, and then it's shocking.
We just got to hope we ain't got an injury before that window closes as well. Because then, you know, like clubs know. Say Antonio breaks down on Monday. All of a sudden, that striker premium goes bang, mate, like 20, 30 million pounds extra on top.
And that's what let's be honest, these transfers should have been done well before. Like, well before. People were saying, you know what, we've just had the Euros, James, leave it, like, bide your time. People are going on holiday and all that. The Euros are long gone there. Like, we're at the start of the season, and I think what it is, it's going to be like square pegs in round hole situation with West Ham at the minute. It's going to be like, if Antonio gets injured, Bowen will go up front.
Yeah.
Or someone like that. And it just shouldn't be like that. Like, I hope that I see someone like a Seema come through the door. Or Origi.
That's one obviously we're linked with. X did say, didn't he, Seema? I'd be up with Seema.
I think Seema's a great player, mate. I really do. 20 years old, power, pace, sell on value. He knows how to score goals, that lad. And I mean, he's an Antonio like reboot basically, but just younger, fitter, and fresher.
I see we're linked with I don't know if you see it. We're linked with a geezer called, I think his name's Flea or something like that.
Oh, Alexander Pella.
Yeah. Is that it?
Pella, yeah.
His goal scoring record's not good though.
Yeah, but he's not too bad though, Luke. Honestly, he plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. I think
he was at when Reece Oxford was at that club, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he's not a too bad player. But for me, if I had to choose, I'd go and ask Liverpool for a loan, like a year loan for Origi. I just think
it's a no loss, is it? Do you know what I mean? If he does really well, we buy him. If he don't, he goes back.
Yeah, and that's what it should be. But we'll wait and see, mate. But honestly, I do fear for our transfer activities this summer. It's a shame, really.
If we don't sign anyone, it's going to be toxic as well in that stadium. That's the only thing.
It will be. It will be. If it starts to turn, fans will start chanting at them. I know they always do, but they'll be chanting even louder.
It'll just get worse.
And it'll get to a stage where, like, it get volatile massively. So yeah, it's just one of them at the minute. But I hope that they're working behind the scenes and they're going, you know what, we're going to get in 2-3 players, because I think Moyes deserves it. Let's be honest.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
I think
so do the players, mate. You know, like Rice and that. After such hard work, he deserves to see some good players coming in. Souček deserves to see it and all that. They need to see some good players. Gives the changing room a lift. If you see a good player walk through the door, like Lingard when he came through the door last year.
Yeah. Do you think they'll sign Lingard, Luke?
I think so, but I think it'll be late. I think it'll be really late. I think he'll just play a few games.
And do you think, I'll ask you this, Luke, this is a question for you. If Lingard does sign, does he start for you? And who does he replace?
Mate, that's such a hard question. I can't. I think someone asked me that the other day. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know, because I don't want Benrahma taken out. And I think, did I ask you this question last week and you said Fornals?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Fornals covers Cresswell at left back. And that's why we need another left back. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you on that. But, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I would love to see Lingard, Bowen and Benrahma. That, like, the runs would just be all over the place. It's like, really hard to defend against.
The only time that front three or front four ever played was against Arsenal last year. And within 32 minutes, we're 3-0 up. And we had literally smashed Arsenal to bits. The Fornals one's a tricky one with me, because what he does, hard working, passing, getting on the ball, I think if we had a better left back, and I've always said that, if we had a better left back in like pace, going up and down, because pace kills Cresswell. For his set piece, delivery, passing, all that, he's great. But when he's one-on-one with a fast player, it gets ruined. He proved it on Sunday with St. Maximin. They had 3 people over there because they couldn't handle him. So it's one of them ones, really. But if Lingard does come in, I don't think he's coming in to sit on the bench. Let's put it like that. I think he's coming to start.
He won't sit on the bench.
Do you know what I mean? Because he would just turn around and say, "Why don't I just stay in Manchester for that?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, mate. I'll let you go. Thanks for coming on, mate. I'll speak to you next week.
No worries, Luke. Take care, mate. All the best.
Mate. See you later. All right, thanks to James. Let's go through the comments finally.